What's up, guys? My name's Anton Suarez, and welcome to Build 2016, and this clip is them announcing Ubuntu's Bash with all its libraries being moved onto Windows 10, and this explains the Linux subsystem we heard a few weeks ago. So here we go.
This is resonating with our web community. We've seen lots of highly rated web apps submitted to the Windows Store, including American Express, Yahoo Mail, Zulily, and more. However, when we talked with web developers, they still struggled with using Windows as their primary dev box, as many of them have workflows which rely on open source command line tools, scripts, and frameworks. We're going to fix that so Windows can be your home. So today, I am so excited to announce the Bash shell is coming to Windows. Yes? The real Bash is coming to Windows. This is not a VM. This is not cross-compiled tools. This is native Ubuntu Linux binaries running on Windows through the magic of a new Windows subsystem. We've partnered with Canonical to deliver this great console experience, which you'll be able to download directly from the Windows Store. Inside of Bash, you have access to the native file system, VT100 support, SSH, and all of your favorite command line tools. Let's dive into the tech and take a look. So here I have a website. I'm running in the Edge browser. There's just a Ruby website that we built. It's hosted in a Azure VM, a Linux VM in Azure. And I also built a hosted web app with it. So I can just launch that app. All I had to do was take the URL, create a name for it, and submit it to the Windows Store, and it produced an AppX for me that downloads when the user downloads it, like here. And so I haven't added anything extra to it yet, but I want to. I want to start making this thing come alive and do better. So I'm going to add the ability to take, this is a banking app, so I decided to take the ability to use the native camera and really get a great camera experience on the device like you'd expect. So I'm going to hop over here to Bash. So here you can see, I just do ls, I can see my local system. I'm going to move over to my C drive, all nice auto completion here. Then I just first of all, I'm going to go modify my JavaScript. So there's two parts. My JavaScript that comes down that lights up and uses the Windows functionality. And then I need to change my Ruby code on the back end. So, and of course, my favorite editor is Emacs. So I'm going to use Emacs. But you can use any of your favorites. They're all there. So everybody can choose the one that they enjoy the most. So here, you'll see here in my JavaScript that I do an if check here first. This is how I make sure I can share my code. If I'm running inside of the application, I just check to see whether the Windows definition is there. If it is, then I have access to all the Windows APIs. If not, then I'm being hosted in the browser and I don't light up this code. And you can see here, I'm just calling the standard WinRT APIs that I get access to, and I can get that native experience because they are the native APIs that I'm actually calling. So I'm going to save that. Now I'm going to SSH in to my Linux VM in Azure there. I'm going to try to figure out my password. So here, what I'll do is, again, use Emacs. I'll modify this file. So, like on all these demos, I'm just going to uncomment some code because it just takes too long to actually go modify it all. So I'm going to uncomment that code there in Ruby. It's saved. All I now need to do is restart that application so I get the latest version. So I'll just pop over here, launch it. You might notice here it added a new menu item. That's what my UI did. So I can say scan check here, and I get this native experience. I got this check here from Giorgio for $1,000, but I'm really not going to actually take the picture because last time it bounced. So I'm just going to exit out of here and be done. So with Bash coming to Windows, we're bringing the power of open source command line tools to Windows. What do you think?
All right, so that concludes that little snippet of this Build 2016, which is going on in, I believe, San Francisco. And this is all live. I'll have a link to in the description below of the live stream. It's still going on currently. It's about almost 7 hours long right now. This is the part they announced that Bash was coming to Windows. And a lot of different news organizations have been talking about this, but I haven't found the video of it. So there you go. That's the part of it. And this explains a lot of the news of the Linux subsystem, the death of the project Astoria, which I made a video on a couple weeks ago. And with this project, the death of Project Astoria was to bring over Android apps to Windows Mobile. They must have used parts of Project Astoria to help with bringing Bash over. Now, this Bash is from Ubuntu. This is their partnership with Canonical, where now they are working with them to bring all their libraries, all their features of their, I guess, modified version of Bash. It's Bash. It's pretty much the same thing. But and now you can use it in the Windows terminal. And a part of me likes this. A part of me says this is, in the business idea for Windows, for Microsoft to do this, it's a smart idea. Because I've played around with development applications. I've played around with Ruby on Rails, but I won't do it in Windows. I find it much easier to do it in Linux because of what they said, the open source terminal tools. So as a developer, I fully understand why they're doing this. Is because they want to be able to have developers come to Windows that are comfortable in Linux. People that would rather develop in Linux than Windows, and I still think that people will prefer to develop in Linux than Windows. But this is an incentive, not even more than an incentive, but a good tool to be able to test your application in Windows as well. So cross-platform applications, so that bank application could be on Linux as well, and on Windows. That application was on a Linux Azure virtual machine, and then they were going into it through the basically Windows Linux terminal now, where Windows terminal is getting the functionality of basically Linux, which is it's a weird situation, and I want to hear your point of view of it in the comment section. What do you think about what Microsoft is doing here with putting pieces of Linux terminal into their terminal? It's going to solve the hassle of using Git and getting bashed through there. I even have it installed on my Windows desktop here. I'm on Windows currently, and being able to do it natively is going to make a lot of things easier. Will we ever still need to download Git's version of Bash? We'll still need Git, but I wonder what other libraries are being brought over with Ubuntu's version here. This guy did an okay job talking about what was going on. I wish they went into more depth, and we'll hear about it more when it comes out in the summer. But this is very, very interesting stuff coming from Microsoft again. They're merging Linux and Windows more than ever. Their support kind of Linux is growing immensely, and to see them taking pieces of it with their partnership with Canonical and merging parts of Ubuntu with this Bash coming to Windows terminal, it's a really interesting time. Maybe one day even being able to run Linux applications natively on Windows, which would be kind of like the reverse of Wine. It'd be Linux running on Windows, where you'd be able to run Linux applications. It's the opposite of what people are trying to do, but for developers, I definitely think that's a possibility in the future. So that's going to be it for this video. What do you think about this Build 2016 live event that just happened, where they're announcing that Bash is coming to Windows 10 in the summer, this new update that's going to bring possibly some developers over from Linux that are trying to use Windows, maybe like half like I am, where I switch back and forth when I'm doing different things. As always, my name's Anton Saweras. Please rate, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.